So Facebook groups, do you or don't you? And how does it work together with your page and your public profile and all the other millions of things that you feel like you have on Facebook? And that's not to mention all the other social channels like LinkedIn and Instagram and everywhere else. But going back to just Facebook groups, let's focus on that today. So do we or don't we start a Facebook group? Well, as things stand right now, Facebook is definitely using their algorithm to favour engaging posts, engagement amongst your friends and peers. They've copped a little bit of slack around privacy and advertising. So they're really trying to make not just the shareholders happy, but also the users happy and keep you on Facebook for as long as possible. And there are some really fantastic groups out there where people get a lot of benefit out of being a part of them. So some would say don't give away your content for free in a Facebook group. Others will absolutely advocate for it. So my rules on whether I do or don't start a Facebook group and when I was making that decision myself for the Kath Clark brand and whether I had a Facebook group or not, my thought process went a little bit like this. First and foremost, our other business, oneofmany.co.uk, has developed a very, very positive and large Facebook community. I think there might be nearly 7,000 people in there now. It's very, very engaging. It's taken on a life of its own. Everybody's very supportive. But of course, that kind of fits in around the brand. The brand is Soft Power. It's about collaboration, nurture. It's women's leadership tools, basically. And there's women going through our programs, learning the leadership tools and jumping in there and sharing. So if you've got a brand similar where people are essentially learning some processes from you and that there's benefit of them being in together and sharing and collaborating and it fits with your brand, and you might want to go back and watch my brand video to work out what your brand actually is if you don't know if it fits with your brand, then absolutely start a group. Be very careful though that you don't spend your life in there answering questions and not turning that into sales opportunities. So from the perspective of what where not loyalties lie, but where I place the importance in a business. Obviously, I think that you should be doing 80% marketing and sales all the time. Now, if you're in there and you've got a sales process mapped out in your brain and you know that you can spark conversations in there and get them to move on to the next stage and having a conversation with either someone on your sales team or yourself, and you know that process and you know how to take people through to the and give them a call to action, then absolutely groups are a great place to nurture them. But just don't get caught up in spending loads of time chit-chatting with people if you're not going to make a sale out of it. You want to be giving them lots of value, but make sure that you lead them. You're not a charity, so you need to lead them through to a sale. The other times that Facebook groups really work is if it's you're starting to nurture clients in a way that, going back to my scale of readiness video, so if you've watched that, you'll understand that kind of, let me just draw it here for you now while I talk to it. So I think that people are ready to buy at different points in time. So ideally, when I start working with somebody, I'm looking for ways to get them the 7 to 10 out of 10s. They're the people that are ready to convert right now into a high value, high priced offer. If they're sitting between 4 to 7, then they've probably opted in for a few of your things. They're solution aware. They see you as the solution or as one of the possible solutions, and it's just a process of them having a good conversion event, like a good sales call or something like that, that's going to get them over the line. And back here, they're probably just problem aware. So if you've kind of tapped out, my number one priority would be focusing on these people. But if you're starting to get, you feel like you've kind of tapped out that and you need to nurture some people through to the next stage, then I'd be then focusing on the solution aware people. So people that have opted in for something, put those people into a Facebook group. And then back here at the 1 to 4, between 1 and 4, and they're problem aware, I'd be less inclined to kind of muck around with these guys in a Facebook group. I'd be more inclined to use blogs, your Facebook page, services like Outbrain that can get your blogs onto lots of different platforms are happening here. So that's kind of more like a broadcast, and here is where the group would kind of fall and is a good place to nurture. So that's just my opinion on how Facebook groups can work for you. But like I say, I would never replace a group and nurturing a group with people that are ready to convert right now. And I think getting really clear on a good sales system and getting some really great sales training so that you know how to have those conversations really successfully with people and show them the value that you can add to their life, that's a far more important place to put time into right now. And then that would be my second step. So I hope that kind of helps you define where the Facebook page and group and where it would fit into your sales cycle. If you've got any questions, of course, hit us up at letsgo@kathclark.com.